Hello guys, how are you?
I'm Hardeep Singh. Welcome back to your own YouTube channel. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test, and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys participate in everyday listening and reading practice test to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Press the bell icon for the upcoming notifications. Don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams.
Part 1.
You will hear a conversation about travel. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 4. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
Good afternoon. The Australia Travel Agency. How can I help you?
Good afternoon. I'd like to know some information about trips to different resorts.
Okay. Can you tell me some of your details first?
Of course.
What's your occupation?
I'm a first-year student.
Are you an Australian?
No, I'm from New York.
So you are American.
Yes.
What's your full name?
My name is Ariel Lee.
Tell me your contact number, please.
It is 462-83095. And my address?
No, we just need your contact number.
Okay. Can you introduce me some attractions?
Obviously it varies, but always places of famous main resorts, such as Sydney, Melbourne, or some places like that.
Just tour resorts? I mean, does that include other activities?
Yes. Besides main resorts, we will arrange for you to enjoy some local refreshments and some special activities.
So, how much does it cost?
Usually it varies between $20 and $35 per head, depending on the place.
And what is the departure date and time?
It depends on various tours, but try to keep the departure time fixed.
When?
7 o'clock in the morning.
And how about the transport?
We have a minibus or coach, depending on the number of tourists.
May I need a reservation?
Yes, you know summer holidays are coming, so I suggest that tourists reserve a seat in advance.
Is there a discount for that?
I'm sorry, we do not have any discounts during peak season.
Now look at questions 5 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 5 to 10. Could you tell me some details of the trips?
Yes, the first place is Sydney. That's on the 12th of January. We'll have 25 people in a minibus.
Fine. Going to which attraction?
We will visit one of the most famous theatres in the world.
The Sydney Opera House.
Right. You can appreciate and watch an opera there.
Really? What's the name of the opera?
I'm not sure. Let me check the house's arrangements. And then you can visit the National Museum to know about the history and customs of Australia.
Great.
In the evening you can enjoy some local snacks if you like.
Fine.
We're going to the Blue Mountains on the 25th of January.
Blue Mountains? Is it a blue mountain?
The mountain got its name for blue fog. It is usually covered by a blue fog.
That's so interesting.
Yes, it is a popular place for young men because they are so cool, and you can enjoy lots of sports there, such as rock climbing, bushwalking, and bird watching.
How many people will go there together?
You will take a coach that has about 30 seats.
Fine.
And the next place is Melbourne on the 10th of February, with about 20 people in a minibus.
What's the resort?
You could appreciate the famous Melbourne Church, and maybe you might have a chance to attend a local exhibition, if they hold it as usual.
Fine. Do you have some tours to the beach?
Yes. One of the most famous coral reefs in the world is the Great Barrier Reef, and we have arranged that on the 23rd of February.
I'm looking forward to visiting there.
Yes, many people like there. There are some interesting water sports, such as diving, swimming in the water, or just taking a photo of coral.
Great. I guess there will be many people.
Yes, but our coach is only for 30 people altogether.
That's so great. Can you book a seat for me now?
Yes, and I will confirm your reference number later by telephone, okay?
Right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoy the trip.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
You will hear a conversation in a bank. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
Good morning. I'd like to open a bank account, please.
Good morning. What kind of account do you want to open?
I'm not sure. Perhaps you can give me some suggestions. I only want to deposit money in the bank and pay all kinds of bills easily.
Fine. I've got the application form here. First of all, can I have your full name, please?
Richard Lee.
Fine, Richard. What's your occupation?
I'm studying a doctor's degree now, although I was a dentist before coming here.
Well, so you are a student.
What kind of account can you suggest for me?
How about a deposit account?
What's the difference between that and a current account?
There are many differences, such as the interest rate, overdraft and service, and so on.
Fine, I will take your recommendation.
OK, let's talk about the main 2 account cards of the deposit account.
Fine.
One card is called the Solo card, and the other one is named MasterCard.
Which one is better for me?
Let me introduce you to some differences of the 2 cards.
OK.
The first one is annual interest rate.
Which one is higher?
Of course, it is the MasterCard. At present, its rate is 5.5%, but the Solo card is only 2.5%. Now look at questions 16 to 20. Now listen carefully and answer questions 16 to 20.
How about the other differences?
The service supplied with the two cards.
Could you speak specifically?
We usually supply internet service and mobile service with all of the cards, of course including the solo card.
Yes, I'd like to ask for the service of mobile and... does solo card have an overdraft?
I'm sorry, but MasterCard has such a service.
Fine.
If you want to take more money out of the bank than you have in it, be very careful. You should not do this without the bank's permission, and you will have to pay some charge.
Do you mean interest?
No, I mean the overdraft charge.
How much is that charge?
According to the bank's rules, the minimum fee is about 2%.
Fine.
The last item of the two cards is the requirement. There is no limitation of the solo card, but if you want to get MasterCard, you should deposit a minimum sum of £1,500 in the first time.
Oh, what's the requirement of money?
What do you mean?
I mean I cannot deposit cash when I open a bank account.
Don't worry, we accept cash and cheque or even money order.
Great.
So which card did you decide to open?
I'd like to open the MasterCard.
A good choice. How often would you like to receive your statement?
Monthly, please.
OK, the last one you should know is the opening time. Banks usually open from 9 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. from Monday to Friday, but most branches open until 3:30 p.m. on Saturdays.
OK, I see. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3.
You will hear a lecture about a university library. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Well, first of all, welcome to the orientation tour of University Library. I'm David White, a library staff here. I know all of you are new students. You will probably need some sort of guidance to help you to use the library effectively for your studies and research. Today, I'd like to introduce you to the different parts and functions of the library. Now, let's start on a tour from the entrance here. As you can see, there are 3 floors. First of all, I will introduce you to the ground floor. There are 3 parts of the ground floor. The first one that we face now is the reception. It supplies library information to all visitors. As a new student, you should apply for your library card first before using the library resources. Remember to take one passport photo and your union card when you come here to register. Next to it is the computer section on the right entrance. As you see, there are 10 computers for students to search library resources, such as reference books. You can also search the library information by using your own laptop in the house, but you should get your username and password when you register in the computer center tomorrow. The last section on the ground floor is the leisure bar. We make sure there is no food or drink in our reading room. If you are hungry, you can go to the leisure bar on the corner of the ground floor. It is a relaxed place. Drinks and snacks are supplied there. The large section on the second floor, located in the center, is called the reference room. You will find all kinds of textbooks, literature materials, or dictionaries in the room. Near to it is a small room called the closed reserve room. According to library rules, important reference books cannot be taken away from the library, so students have to sit in the closed reserve room to read.
Now look at questions 26 to 30. Now listen to the tape and answer the questions 26 to 30.
The room opposite to the closed reserve room is the periodical room. We offer various current or back newspapers, magazines, and journals. There is a small room called the audio-visual room next to it. You can find tapes or CDs or watch videos in there. If you want to photocopy some materials, you can go to the photocopy room, on the right corner beside the stairs. We offer 5 computers, 4 photocopiers, and 4 laser printers there. You should deposit money in your library card first, and then swipe your card before using the photocopier or printer. There are some rules. The first rule is that we do not accept coins. The second rule is to limit your session to half an hour at a time when the photocopier is busy or the printer is busy. The last important rule is that please do not start printing less than 10 minutes before the library closes. The reading room and meeting room are both located on the top floor. Now, we are in the big reading room with a glass roof. As you see, it is very bright and quiet in here. You can read books while enjoying the sunshine. The last section I wish to introduce to you is the conference room. There are some different size rooms with a round work table and multimedia equipment for teachers and students to do group work. Okay, let's talk about some warnings. First of all, you can reserve any reference book if they are on loan, but the available time is only 48 hours. If you cannot come to the reception to take your reserved books, you will miss out. Then, if your book is recalled by the library, you have to return it within 7 working days. Otherwise, the book is overdue, and you will have to pay a fine. The other thing is your library card. All records of using library resources are in your card. I hope you can keep your card safely. Especially, do not leave it in your student locker. If you lose it, please come to our reception to report the loss and apply for a new one in order to avoid further trouble. Good. Well, that's the end of the tour of the library. You can look around for yourselves now, and if you have any questions, please ask the advisor at the reception.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
You will hear a lecture about British holidays. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
British celebrate many religious, historical, social, and cultural holidays throughout the year. Some holidays marked on calendar are celebrated throughout the country. Others are based on local customs and traditions which reflect the variety of experience in different regions. Britain remains mainly a Christian nation, but most Britons do not go to church regularly or engage in Christian worship. Because of immigration and changing beliefs, most of the world's religions are practiced in Britain, such as Hindu, Judaism, Muslim faith, and the Sikh. Christmas is the biggest and best-loved British holiday. While Christmas has a Christian meaning, it commemorates the birth of Jesus Christ. People usually celebrate Christmas by decorating homes and workplaces with colored lights and Christmas trees and ornaments and exchanging gifts. There are 3 traditional Christmas activities in Britain. One is the Christmas pantomime, a comical musical play. Another British Christmas tradition is to hear the Queen give her Christmas speech over television and radio. The British Queen is also the Queen of other nations, such as Canada and Australia, and so her speech is broadcast to millions of subjects throughout the world. The third British Christmas tradition, which is also celebrated in countries with British heritage, is Boxing Day, which falls on the day after Christmas. People used to give Christmas gifts or money to their staff on Boxing Day. However, a new Boxing Day custom has emerged. It is shopping. But for most people, it is a day of visiting, eating, and relaxing. For churchgoers, the biggest holiday is Easter, not Christmas. It is the most important Christian festival in Britain. Easter commemorates the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Easter is in the spring, when universities and schools are closed for breaks. During the Easter period, Christians attend many church services and charity activities. Easter eggs are the main symbol of Easter. As time goes on, nowadays, people give each other chocolate or candy for Easter. There are some local festivals and holidays in England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. People can know about the different culture and customs of the 4 nations of the United Kingdom. Many festivals and customs have been invented, adopted, and used to serve political or religious functions in times of conflict. Special days in England and Wales show their national pride in their unique languages and cultures and remind people that there is much more to the UK than the English and England. One truly English holiday in England is called Bonfire Night, celebrated in early November. English people celebrate this event in the traditional way. Small children with a straw effigy called the Guy appear on British streets. They beg for money from passing adults. They buy lots of fireworks to set off on Bonfire Night. Most communities have public bonfires, where people gather to cook potatoes and sausages in the fire and watch fireworks performing. The biggest Bonfires Night celebration is held in the small medieval town of Lewes, where torchlight parades wind through the narrow streets. Northern Irish Catholics celebrate the birthday of the patron saint of Ireland, St. Patrick, on the 17th of March of each year. Patrick was a Catholic bishop who lived in the 5th century and is thought to have brought Christianity to Ireland. He lived in Great Britain, but was captured by Irish raiders and became a slave at the age of 16. He eventually escaped and returned to Britain. However, he accepted the invitation of the Irish and returned to Ireland to begin his successful missionary career. Most British people welcome the coming of the new year. In Scotland, New Year's Eve is called Hogmanay. It is on the 31st of December and is the major winter celebration. But Christmas is very quiet. How Hogmanay is celebrated varies through Scotland, but one widely practiced custom is first footing. There is a superstitious belief that the first person to cross the threshold of a household in the new year can bring luck and prosperity. The appearance of a young, preferably dark-haired and handsome man is considered particularly lucky. First footers usually bring a bottle of alcohol, a lump of coal, or a peat as a gift and given a dram of whiskey as their reward. Halloween, the 31st of October, is another Scottish festival that comes from the great feast of the pagan Celt. It is particularly connected to ghosts. At parties, people dress up in strange costumes and pretend that they are witches. They cut horrible faces in pumpkins and put a candle inside which shines through the eyes. Children dressed in white sheets knock on doors at Halloween and ask if you would like a trick-or-treat. Usually hosts give them something nice, such as coins or candy. Otherwise, they make lots of noise at the front door. Wales has some of the oldest and richest literary, musical and poetic traditions in Europe. The most famous festival in Wales is the Eisteddfod. In each August, Welsh people hold a large Eisteddfod to remind people that Wales has had a very special cultural heritage. The highlight of the festival is to crown the two bards who have written the best poems of the festival. Nowadays, the Eisteddfod is the largest popular festival of music, making poetry and writing in Europe. The British calendar is full of holidays and festivals which show the different cultures and histories of the people who make up Britain. Such holidays and festivals not only remind people of how cultures change and influence each other, but also give people a chance to share in the rich cultural heritage of the United Kingdom.
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
So guys, don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys, participate in everyday new IELTS listening and reading practice tests to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. For more IELTS material, visit my official website www.ieltsupdatesandrecentexams.com. The link is given below in the description. If you need PDF files of latest IELTS material, then please join my Telegram channel. So guys, please write your score below the comment section. Again, thanks for listening. God bless you all guys. Stay tuned, stay safe.